You have created a monster and it will destroy you.
She's alive! Alive!
I am Dracula.
Hello, everybody. Waters here at the Fantasm. Day 2 of 3. This is Saturday. Big show, big day. It's like 11:30, 12 o'clock. Anyway, we live. It's Fantasm going to turn this man, Ted, into the walking Ted through the magic and mystery of theatrical makeup. If you can't hear Boris, it's because this is actually not plugged in the nut, then Boris just plugging in his vest. See how many people actually pay attention. So, what does it take to turn a 6'6", grandfather 3, nice dude, into a shambling man of the undead? They're gonna eat your face when you're sleeping. Only Scott Fenstermaker is gonna know because he actually. Let's look at the makeup first. Let's get away from Boris. Oh, by the way, Scott Fenstermaker did this earlier. You know, give Boris a nice rosy cheeks. So here we have the appliance, as they call them. It's not like a washer dryer or nothing like this. This is a, what the fuck, mess is foam latex? It's a nice, expensive foam latex appliance, but it's malleable. Mally. And what this is going to do, well, you got the mushy thumb. You got the mushy thumb, probably osteoporosis. Anyway, they're going to take that and slap it on this mug right here with the missing eye. You pirate, you like that guy. And the eye come out and we play dice. And over a process of many years, Fenstermaker learned how to make this guy look like I'm going to eat your face. And you guys are going to get a treat to see how Fenstermaker going to do it. He's behind the camera. He's being quiet, no artsy like.
All right.
There we go. The 5 fingers or 4 fingers. Well, don't back up into somebody. The 4 fingers you see, he's the Fenstermaker. And now we've landed. The eagle has landed. But what mysteries of makeup you're going to see, only time will tell. And now we move the camera again.
Get a little bit closer so you can see the action.
We need to look up his nose.
Yes.
So, words of the Ramones and in honor of PJ Souls, the guest here, Fantastic. Hey ho, let's go. And for Homo Baby being on the bracket with the baseball bat. So, what you're about to see is done by trained professionals. If you do it, you can look worse or you break something, so don't do that. Don't break your face, your finger, or nothing like that. And don't have your mom go, he's nice. Because everybody, you know that's what they're going to say. And with them in the trap. Like, he's not, do you like it? And that's another thing. When they ask, do you like it? That means they hate it. Right, Fenstermaker?
That's correct.
It's like,
disclaimer.
Oh, yeah, everything come out the Boris' mouth. Boris won't. There's a disclaimer shirt. You can actually, if you hate yourself enough, you come down here and for some money, you buy the disclaimer shirt with Boris on it. And people go, what the hell that? And you go, this fat guy got the shirt. This is a disclaimer, which means anything come out of his mouth is his. Don't blame Monster Man, the Phantasm. Well, you know what? Blame Phantasm. Screw them. We have to blame Phantasm. Phantasm put Boris up this. Surprise, dear Tony Greco. Super lawsuit. Anyway, here we go. Like it's a Peter Pan ride at Disney. Here we go, and then you're back. Boris got to get up. Okay. All right. Boris
to be able to see at least something besides my back.
Yes, Boris going to see you the right shoulder Fenstermaker.
Maybe we move you out a little bit, closer to the crowd. Maybe we should do that. We'll put this here.
Oh, the screams you hear at the haunted house next to the Master Manor are actually people that wear the border shirt that realized they didn't take the pins out. Here we go, tails. There we go.
Tail.
Just stop moving the cabinet. The people gonna get motion sickness.
I apologize.
Too late. Here we go.
There we go. Okay.
Okay. So now, this is the beginning stage where they're going to stretch the skin over the regular skin. It's kind of like, you know, how are you doing? What was it? Good luck with it. Good. Somebody just took candy from behind borders. Now, what Fantasm Orlando doing is he's putting glue on the foam so it sticks to the face, right?
Yeah, this is a Pros-Aide adhesive. It's thinned a little bit with alcohol, but basically it just goes on and it's a contact adhesive, or in this case, we're going to actually apply it to the forehead.
A little louder.
Going to apply it directly to the forehead.
On the forehead. Now, is it special alcohol or like just a rubbing alcohol? What do you got? 99. So you get that like hardware store?
Yeah, it's basically, yeah, you'd get it at a body shop or something like that.
Body shop, okay.
Yes. Believe it or not, they do sell it.
Like the other body shop?
Medical grade and stuff like that.
Okay.
So just pick it up. It's 99 alcohol. I wouldn't use like a denatured or anything like that. That could be very bad for your skin.
Okay. So do you got to like, does this fit like a glove or you got to stretch it?
No, there is some shrink with latex appliances, foam latex, and sometimes you're going to want to do like multiple pieces.
Okie dokie.
But for the purposes of this demo, we're just using one and kind of pulling it into position. But as soft as this is, I don't think our model's going to mind. You've dealt with worse.
Okay, so right now he looked like albino Skeletor, but the borders assure you that this is going to look a lot better once it's attached and painted. Because Fantasm Orlando got rattle cans.
Yeah, rattle cans.
The best Krylon going to go on that zombie face. Now, is this going to be the only appliance you put on them, or is like more?
No, this will be basically the only appliance that we need to put on them.
See, borders know the secret term.
Oh, we
Appliance. That's like, you know, not like a refrigerator you get on concentration of. Appliance means a piece of makeup that they make, and then they go, ooh, this look good, and then they're going to smack it on your face or your arm or whatever, right?
Right.
That's cool. So, Mr. Fantasm, tell us, this is what? The foam latex, correct?
Yep, foam latex.
Then you got dragon skin, which is the way the back. That was Fantasm back. You got dragon skin, which is like a what?
That's a silicone.
That's the silicone. They make jokes. And then you got what? Foam latex and silicone. That's the two you can put on the face.
Yeah, you can even put watermelon, not the fruit.
That's like thinner latex or something.
It's a latex replacement that basically is its own adhesive. We can actually do a demo towards the end here.
The what?
And once we get to this point, we can actually start tearing some of the latex around the top.
Is that like, you know, does that feel like the bubble wrap when you tear the bubble wrap?
What does that feel like? Tearing your face off.
And there we go, folks. How many minutes in? 5 minutes in, and we got the obligatory face-off joke for Fantasm Orlando. But that joke only took 4th place. You got to do better, so take 3rd place. We're going to give Walking Ted 5 minutes to improve that joke, and then we rejudge him.
Is that pulling your hair? No. Would you like to?
Now, this appliance also is nice because it's like multi-purpose. He could be Skeletor. He could be zombie.
Just going to hang there for a moment.
He could be old lady, old man, and there we go, Fantasm Orlando back again.
What a wonderful smell.
Yes, for you without the smell-o-vision, we got the weird odor coming from the haunted house next door. We like the haunted house next door, but the smell like Ronald McDonald got the farts. So Border's going to try to go and talk to the proprietors of the haunted house next and find out how you get that smell, because he's going to leave it in people's houses that he don't like.
Eye, upper eye, so keep his eyes closed. Contact eye.
Yeah. You know what we didn't do?
So
We
if you got time and you're in Orlando, this is Phantasm
Yeah, stay
at the Shingle Creek Hotel.
okay.
I went into
We're in the Gatlin Ballroom. We still got the day passes for today and tomorrow. He's going to go to 8, 9 o'clock. There's celebrities like PJ Souls, Nick Castle, Tom Atkins, Diane Franklin. You come get autographs. Oh, Biling was wandering by before. Nice people. But, you know, they don't want Fence to make a touch them. So, although we did get, Mimi Craven and PJ Souls on Must Amanda Television. The Festival interviewed them yesterday. That was nice. Borders was at the parole officer, so he wasn't here, but he missed PJ Souls. Which is like, you know, bad. Because Borders like rock and roll high school. Borders can't speak. Rocky Horror High School, that's right. With PJ Souls from the Ramones.
Does that feel pretty comfortable?
Yeah.
So this take a long time to put down the face? What's like the most labor intensive? Put the face on or paint the face?
Well, I mean, for different reasons, they're both kind of difficult. Edges you want to be really careful of, but I mean, the time really comes in with the painting. That is the time-consuming part.
It's 6 of one, square root of 36 of the other.
Yeah.
The Boris got to say something. No offense to make it really dedicated to his job, but there's a guy in the haunted house next to us. That dude will give 130% of banging and screaming. Like that guy you want on your side in the bar fight. Boris going to call him Larry. Boris don't know his name. But that's Larry the Screamer right there. So, Walking Dead, what does that feel like to have the thing on the face? Is it restrictive? Does it feel light?
It's very light.
Does it move when you move the face? Does it move with you?
I don't know because it's not completely on yet.
Okay, let's guess.
I would say yes.
Okay, we got the yes. That's a good thing. Now, Festival, what do you prefer to work with? Is it like the foam better, or does everything have its merits?
Foam, for me, doing the monster makeups, especially like the Walking Dead,
Yes.
I love the foam. Because it doesn't have to be very translucent, although you can paint it to look more translucent.
Okay, that's
with
the
layering.
SAT word. What that mean?
What's that, translucent?
Yeah, that was a character in The Boys.
More like,
Like see-through.
More see-through, yes.
Okay.
If you need that sort of thing, you've got silicone, but if you're using foam, obviously it's more opaque, which is the opposite.
Okay. So we like 13 minutes in, and you got One Love, and you got Amber on the side there. Wave hello, Miss Amber. She managing the booth, making sure nobody steals nothing. And she managing us, make sure we behave. So how long you think, like with Boris, it took like 2 hours of prep time to get Boris nice and pretty? You know, because Boris already has the face. You just kind of made it look better.
Yeah, we just did a little bit of pink powder on you.
Yeah, you know, like
The beauty makeup.
put lipstick on the pig type of thing.
But with Ted, this is pretty intensive. Plus, we have something that we don't usually have to do on you is hands and arms and things that would be visible beyond. Because there's one thing that irks me in any makeup is when you see the makeup and the hands aren't. You know, if we're doing
what's the Dawn of the Dead where they got the gray face and the regular color hands?
Exactly. Yeah, you don't want that. So what we're going to do here is now that we have the forehead basically down, I need to wait just a little while for this to dry, and then we're going to powder it. And that way, I can do like they do in the Dr. DeBro movie, you know, the Botched. We're going to lift this whole face up and give it a facelift.
Oh, that's cool.
And then work down.
So when you put in the fake boobies,
That'll be tomorrow.
that's like the botched show.
If this thing gets 500 likes, we will give The Walking Dead boobies.
And if you watch, see, that's the thing. In this one, it's botched, but if you watch the bonus one, that's the fatty show.
You have no say for the 500 likes, Walking Dead.
Okay, here we got 398, 399.
In all seriousness, please, if you like the programming that you see on Monster Manor TV, let your friends know. Tell them about what we're doing here. Because
We got Monster Man 1313 on the Facebooks. We got Monster Man 1313 on YouTube. MonsterMan1313.com. That's the website.
that's where you find all the links.
Find all the good stuff because that has the Fantasm Sculpture Studio too.
Yeah, that's true.
And then we're going to be going there live randomly throughout the weekend. Show what we got. Like if Fantasm going to talk to a celebrity. Boris not allowed to because, disclaimer.
Kind of like disclaimer, it's also restraining.
Yes, disclaimer and
Restraining order.
restraining order. But Boris say restraining order doesn't count because he can play frisbee with you. Boris can still scream at you across the street. He just has to stay 20 yards away.
So this is basically just a little bit of translucent makeup powder. But all
No.
of this gloss up here, it's very sticky because it's basically an adhesive.
Boris know that look at the top by the forehead, it's thinner. Does that matter?
You want it to be thin. It's feathered edge. Basically, the thinner you can make that, the more believable the makeup's going to look.
So that's what Neil don't show up and yellow do free edges like
Right.
in the face-offs.
Now, normally, if your edge is too thick, you have to use something called Cabo Patch, which is
Boris had one there.
Pros-Aide and fumed silica, or Cabosil, and you do the edges, and it looks better, but then it takes a million years to get it off.
Because Boris had one in the 80s, a Apple Patch Kid. Knock a girl down and take it because you couldn't get one.
Yeah.
You had to buy them something.
So here we go. Watch this fun stuff. We're going to lift this up a little bit, and that way we can get to the bridge of his nose.
Oh my goodness. There's the real Ted underneath.
Yep, we're going to start under here. And a lot of times if you're not, and we've done this makeup many times, probably many more than even that. But a lot of times if you need to know where your appliance is lined up so you can put the glue on, with a little less mess and overspread, you basically powder around the appliance. And what you get at that point is an outline of where your appliance ends and your skin begins. But for this, I've done it so many times, we know basically where it is. So I'm just going to go down a little bit.
Now, say you got the person who got the latex allergy, but they don't know it. Then you put that stuff on, it's like, ouch. So what do you get to use for like a latex person? Don't use the latex.
Well, by this time, hopefully we would have checked if the person was allergic to any kind of latex. And if we know ahead of time, what we can do is there's a product called Watermelon. It's sold by Michael Davey. If you go to Michael Davey Television Makeup, he has a product called Watermelon. And we found that if you take a latex piece, whether it's slip latex cast or like what this is, foamed, you basically take the latex and you coat it with, on the underside here, with the watermelon.
Like a lining of a jacket type of thing?
Yep. And then what happens is even my family who, many of the women in my family are latex sensitive or allergic to latex and intolerant, very intolerant. And what that does is it puts a barrier between their skin and the latex.
Oh, that's nice.
Now, the other cool thing is, the side benefit that we learned, is if you are using the watermelon as a barrier, you can then use alcohol on the piece to apply it.
That's nice.
And the alcohol acts like the adhesive. Yes,
Now,
yes.
Boris knows, like, your pet peeve is, like, on the Facebooks and on the TikTok with people taking the toilet paper and the liquid latex and just making the schmeckle on the face and try to make it look good with whatever, makeup you got.
Uh-huh.
What's
Keep your eye closed during this part because
Boris-
I don't want to mess that up.
Boris trying to be diplomatic. Why don't you like that?
Why don't I like
Yeah,
that?
like it's something you're like, no, that's not the real makeup almost. What?
Well, it's not that because people have been using toilet paper and latex for a long time. The thing is, though, is that rather than using toilet paper, and the thing is, toilet paper is so thick. If you're using tissue paper, a lot of times people read online that you use tissue paper. Yes, you use thin tissue paper, not like toilet tissue that's 3-ply and 4-ply because it's very hard to blend those edges.
Like the wrapping tissue paper?
Yeah, like tissue like that. The thinner ply, if you have to, pull that toilet paper apart. Go into like Dollar Tree and get the cheapest toilet paper and pull the plies apart. That's what you're talking about with tissue paper, not the thick, heavy stuff.
It's not like paper towel.
Correct. That would be a mistake.
But what happened if you use paper towel? The want to see that happen a lot. So
it's just too thick. You can't get enough detail. Okay, right on your upper lip. You just can't get enough detail on it. That's the thing is that you want something thin that's going to move naturally.
yes.
And if it's too thick, it just doesn't move right. It looks bad. It looks like a failed makeup. And you can't just throw more blood at it and say, oh, well, that'll look better.
The border C one is like popular. They put the bottle. They cut the Coke bottle and it looked like the bottle stuck in the forehead.
Right.
From like idle hands. And a lot of people put a lot of toilet paper around that.
Yeah. Yeah, cotton is actually a good thing to use as well. A lot of people get into using like cotton ball cotton.
Mm-hmm.
But again, there are better things than to dip that with latex and just put latex on your face. Because remember, liquid latex, if you use a lot of it, it has ammonia. And the ammonia is nowhere near good for you. Having that much ammonia up against your face can actually burn your skin.
So is it hard to take off too when you got that much gunk stuck to the face?
There are solvents that you have to use to remove this. The Pros-Aide is basically removable with what we like to use. I love the just the regular old cheap electric shave.
No, what happens if you say, okay, I'm gonna take paper towel and the latex and shove it on my face?
Latex will actually peel off. Yeah, I mean that's not too bad. Latex will just peel off. It's the adhesives where you're using things like the Pros-Aide or Telesis. Now you will clean your face off before you peel the prosthetic off at that point, unless it's been on for many, many hours.
Okay. So this just put the face on, like sets the pizza over the
Yes.
over the pizza pan.
We're lining up anatomical markers like his cheekbone with the chin. Now this was made on his life cast.
Oh, that was sculpted for him.
Yes, specifically for him. And the trick with this is I'll apply a certain amount of adhesive down in here, but I do like to leave a little bit on either side of his mouth so he has a little bit of room to emote and talk and move his mouth.
Like, can he eat and everything through this? Like, make eat and drink and eat
with a straw? Yeah, with a straw or fork, because you can open your mouth at this point and give him an idea. But you see, there is a limited range of motion.
No cob, nothing like that.
But I leave in here a little bit open, and under here I leave a little bit open, so he'll actually have more movability.
So if you ever go like Nilbog, he won't have to eat like the apples or the corn or nothing like that.
No. How does that feel so far? Comfy? Comfy, cozy. And look, there's a link to that too. Comfy Cozy, which was from Hook, right?
Yes.
You know who's here at this show? Not Hook. Nick Castle, who is really known as the first Michael Myers.
Michael Myers. He co-wrote what the heck is that? Escape from New York with John Carpenter.
Well, he also screenwrote Hook. Did you know that?
No, Boris did not.
And he was also the boy who could fly. He did screenwriting for that.
Boris did know that Glenn Close was the guy that what the Hook done shot though.
Oh, in the boo box.
In the boo box. That was Glenn Close as the man. And Boris like this. Smee, don't try to stop me, Smee. Don't try, get your butt over here and stop me, Smee. What are you looking at, Smee? Get you behind them. Look what they're trying to do. Captain Hook kind of messed up.
Yeah.
Go up, Screaming Larry back up in the next door.
Harry is screaming in there?
Well, that's what Boris' name is. It's the guy. What is called Screaming Larry.
Oh, so not our Larry.
No.
Just a Larry.
A Larry. Because every now and then, don't know if the people on the internet can hear it. But Boris hears, so there's probably like a scare actor in the last thing, and he screamed a lot. Because he really getting the character. So Boris applaud that, the dedication to screaming at random strangers.
I mean, normally you get in trouble for that.
Yes, and you did. This makeup was also done when Shallow Grave was around, right?
Yes.
The Mr. Walking Ted was a queue walker.
Yes.
He went outside and entertained the people waiting to get in.
Quite often, I think every performance.
Yeah.
Yep, and then he had the hobo bed walk around with him like he's a pet.
Which she's here today, and it's actually her birthday. So she's.
That's nice. Back to the makeup. She walk around. There's a cloud around her of the filth. You know what are you going to do? Buy a new filter cloud for the birthday?
Yeah.
Yeah, we replaced the dirt.
Hobo baby.
But Boris, see, this is what like is now it's October. What? First, second. Woken up the guy from Green Day because he wake me up with September, and so we woke him up yesterday. And now it's haunt season. Well, actually, like mid-September, it's haunt season,
I
but
thought it was duck season.
it could be rabbit season. You ain't getting Boris in this because you're gonna get shot in the face. Anyway, as both of you being veterans of the haunt, Boris got the question: what the heck is wrong with the people go in, and you know you're gonna get scared for it, right? And they go, no, don't scare me. And you pop out the booth, and no, don't scare me. Like,
Why did you come here?
it's like going to Italian Olive Garden and asking for crappy Italian food. Like, don't give me the crappy pasta.
No,
Why are you
it's
here?
like going to Olive Garden and expecting Mexican.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that could happen.
You should get scared. You should get scared at a haunt. I think that's part of the charm.
Well,
Is
that's-
that you're going to the haunt to be terrified, and then you have that release, and then you come into real life and you say, "Oh, now I'm really going to get scared because Morgan just did."
See, Boris going to open up a real haunt like that. It's called bills. Every room you go to, you're given another bill. And then at the end of the haunt, you get fired.
Let's go.
How are you?
Hey, how are you? How you doing?
That voice was random. See, we got to do live here, so the random people just walk up and like, look, like what's happening? And that's
Random and
make
not
it,
so random people.
not random people, not so random people, patrons.
But all lovers of horror. Bunch of great actors here.
Yep.
Authors. We've got our author table.
Yeah,
What kind of adhesive you're using?
Yes, this is Pros-Aide.
Pros-Aide.
Yep. Yep.
now let me go. Boris, remember, it's foam latex with the sweat stop and then the Pros-Aide.
Correct.
The sweat stop is like this little bottle that smells like, what the heck is that? The armpit stuff to make your armpit stop
And
sweat.
antiperspirant.
His armpit sweat stop, okay?
And you apply that to the skin first?
Yeah.
Yep, there's a liquid and you put on a little cotton ball in the damn.
And that is a prep. It's really, really good because if you can use it like several days before you have to wear the prosthetic, it actually will slow your sweating. So it's the same thing that you put under your arms, as an antiperspirant. But of course, the more you use it, the more it is effective.
Yeah. So why can't Boris just take like a speed stick and rub it on the forehead?
Actually, too many moisturizers. You can't use that because there's like carnauba wax and other things in there to make it like a dry roll on.
Carnauba wax. Boris is not the 58 Chevy. You don't put carnauba wax
Exactly.
on the armpits.
Now, are you local to Florida or
Ocala.
Ocala? Really?
Yeah, we do all sorts of makeup, props, special effects,
Well done, Fantastic.
and of course, Monster Manor.
We're just going to adjust the camera a little bit because
Monster Manor we started
there we go.
basically in the heart of the pandemic because we were just tired of not seeing our friends anymore. And it was a chance for us to talk to people that we either knew or knew of through the industry. And we were able to keep contact with them and wound up getting guests that I never thought we would. So it's been really, really cool. We made a new network. You know, what it did was, if you got to find the silver lining in the pandemic, it's that it created a new way of networking. Yeah, keeping everyone in contact and opening up new avenues. Because that was one thing that I wanted to do for, especially like Michael Berryman and stars that we do. There were no shows. There were no ways that people could communicate or get out autographs from their favorite, actors. However, through that, they could say, okay, well, if you go to my website, I'll make sure that you get hooked up with autographs and stuff. So,
Whatever works.
I know it's been a very interesting change in the way that we have to do things.
So this process right here will take usually around 3-4 hours.
For this, I mean, we've got it down to about 2, and that includes doing makeup on the hands and stuff like that.
This film was.
I mean, at the one,
Yeah, at the Haunt, it was down to an hour. Because he was a queue walker at the Shallow Grave, and that was a local haunt. So he would actually be right in full lighting, walking around, out in front of the show.
Okay, really?
Yeah, so we had to put all of the attention to
I can understand that. That must have been
some people think it's black.
Yeah. But he's like right up with the people and photos.
Yeah, they don't want to do. Those teeth are part of the prosthetic. If you ever used acrylic teeth, the ones that like push back the
Yes, yeah, we have. We actually did a beautiful Bernie Wrightson's Frankenstein that he was also the model for.
Yeah.
And we did a similar thing where it was protected, and we did upper and lower palettes. So it looked really, really good. This is a zombie, and he actually has one, so we had to sculpt it in. But if it were like something that had to get like right in an American camera, we could actually put those out. Just
13 years. I
definitely
See, I like wearing to like approach you guys that people have. I say,
That's fine.
I want to see you guys get up there real good. And congratulations, man. I heard that's you're just going to be using the liquid Pros-Aide and Bondo blended.
No, honestly, this is so thin, and with the effects and stuff, you're not going to see it. We have used that,
Okay.
and it's just a very, a lot of times actors don't want to, but if we've got a really good edge that we're going to muck up anyway in texture,
Yeah, zombie skin.
yeah, it's just zombie skin, so. But if it has to be a really beautiful, smooth, we might go in with the Cabo patch and just clean it up and,
Oh, yeah.
Bondo.
the Bondo, yes.
Cabo patch Bondo.
Skin Bondo.
Bondo doesn't like us using that term, though, which is weird.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that
It's
real?
almost
Thing.
I mean, I've only used it once, and I figured out how to make it.
Yeah. But Cabo patch is more commonly known for Pros-Aide, Pros-Aide patch.
Yeah. Bondo, that's just a word to say.
Absolutely. And it's old school,
Plus, when you say Cabo patch, you gotta stop and explain what the hell it is. Bondo.
Yeah. People know what patch paint. I don't know if people nowadays don't know what patch paint is.
Yeah,
There we go. We're talking
it's still
about.
not very well known.
But I'm thinking. Yeah, I mean, all you need, everything, the base is the Pros-Aide. Pros-Aide with the acrylic paint in it. And I mean, it's just a lot of those old techniques are disappearing. They're not being taught as much.
I mean, how long has Pax been
asked for that?
around? I just discovered it maybe
Probably in the late 50s, early 60s.
really been like,
Yep.
That's what they steal from us. It's not like,
Yeah. Friends always talking about Pat's paint for making latex masks. didn't need latex. You could just use the acrylic Pros-Aide, tint it, and then use that as so there were a lot of cheats that you would learn. Honestly, you forget some of the stuff that you've learned that people just don't teach anymore.
Pakistan wasn't around that long.
Yep. It might be 70s, but it's been at least since the 70s.
Yeah, I thought it was somewhere in the 2000s. Like I know the story of how it got made. They didn't have a timeline of when it was made.
Right. Hello again. Well, we are still in the application phase. Foam appliance, foam latex. So what we have to do before we get on to the airbrushing, because we are going to airbrush most of this, so we have to seal it with more Pros-Aide. And that, because otherwise it's just too porous to hold paint.
Yeah.
It might pop until that dries, because this is a contact adhesive. The best, the strongest bond is if it's on both the skin and on the prosthetic.
Now, for removers, you use the Pros-Aide remover or just 99 IPA?
I use electric shave.
Electric shave.
Yeah, electric shave is isopropyl myristate. So it's a cheap version of the removers for a lot of this stuff. So what the electric shave doesn't get off, the Barbasol shaving cream does, because that has SD alcohol and certain emollients and removers as well.
The Barbasol will work as well, because I know you use that to get fake blood off. Like, it's good for removing stains.
Yeah, because of the ingredients. Check the ingredients, because most of the ingredients that you find in those two that I mentioned are in some of the other removers.
Huh.
And you'll pay 3 times as much for those other removers where you get the same effect. And I think we were talking yesterday, if you have like the, you don't even need like the Neutrogena baby wipes, but if you're using baby wipes, you take a little bit of that electric shave and put it in there, let it soak in, that takes off most of the makeup right from the start.
Well, I don't know if you ever use Pros-Aide remover, but
Yeah.
that stuff is a pain in the ass to breathe in.
It is. And if you can do the same thing using very safe over-the-counter stuff that you can buy, why not use that?
I'll definitely look into that one. I've actually switched over to Telesis 8 because the remover is just, it's so much quicker, but it's a lot more expensive than Pros-Aide.
Yes. And it's really like apples and oranges.
Yeah.
When you're looking at Telesis, you're looking for something that's almost a medical bond, and sometimes you just don't need it, and that's where this comes in, you know. If you're doing a one-day shot where you're not really outside and it's not gonna, but like if you're underwater, or it's raining, or if it's in the sun, you may need to use the Telesis.
Like, I still prefer Pros-Aide mainly because I work with foam latex too. I rarely work with silicone, which is what Telesis is known for. But it's just that remover, especially when you got to remove the prosthetic quickly.
Yeah.
So the end took the makeup off.
Some of that stuff they have on TV,
Not true.
Yeah.
Yes.
There is nothing like Tom Cruise would have. Mission Impossible. That's one of the things. I think people often, I don't want to say that they underappreciate what makeup is, but even
Movies.
like with
Movies.
Mrs. Doubtfire,
Yeah.
never was like that.
Mrs. Doubtfire. There's another movie called Spaces, where one of the assassins made exact copies of people's faces within a matter of minutes, and he used some boiling gel-like substance.
We wish. I mean, we wish.
Yeah.
And if we did have access to it, it would probably be more than we could afford. As stupid as artists.
It's a process.
Yes. But the thing is that the art of doing this, it hasn't changed that much in the last 50 years. We've got new chemicals, but the stuff is basically the same. The game changer was high def. When everything went high def, you needed more silicone for certain effects because it diffused the light differently. It actually bends the light like skin would. So you do have to get a little more creative there.
I usually, well, I make and use 3D transfers now whenever I can.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. You using like the Tinsley stuff?
I use my own. I actually have my own special effects company in St. Pete, Florida.
Yeah.
I actually give you a card here. But yeah, like Tinsley, they got good products, but it's still kind of flat.
Yeah.
And as far as the looks go, so I like to have my very stuff.
But it's the same thing with the polymerize that you're using.
Same thing. I use they use gel, but I use thickened Pros-Aide for mine.
Yes. Okay, how's that feeling? Walking very good. Comfortable? Okay, we're waiting on this to dry a little bit. Once it dries, we can powder this and then get on to the next phase.
All right. I gotta take off, but you're gonna be around all day.
Oh yeah, we'll be here all day.
All right, awesome. I'll probably stop by.
Be here all day. Try the meal.
So we're just waiting on this. I did put it all over. You can see how it's shiny. And once that dries, that's going to get very sticky. So he's got to keep his face fairly static.
His bachelor party was next to a guy.
First one latex appliance.
I'm sorry?
The first one latex. Because I ever applied, I knew nothing,
Yeah.
and somebody told me to use pack seat. Big mistake.
Use what paint?
Packs.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Big.
Waters back. Hello, one person watching the live show at 41 minutes. Now we got that vinyl test with one eye.
Okay.
You don't stop picking that
I'll
stuff.
see it.
He's not filming. He's just gonna open up and then he's gonna be able to put like stuff right down the top.
So is it? I don't have this on it. Is that a soft trap interface?
Yes.
Okay.
So let's do the shade.
So again, if you saw before when we did the forehead, before we gave him a facelift, we're using that same Manor translucent powder and working that into the powder puff, and then we're going to delicately tap.
Do me a favor.
And you can see how it goes almost instantly matte.
They have send me pictures of that.
And when you get that matte, you know that basically at least it's not going to stick to
It's the
itself.
only thing. Water's done the one to do.
Because that is the bane of makeup. You get a beautiful edge, a beautiful line, and then
So Water's back. He was dealing with fans.
Then someone winks and their eyes stay shut.
yes.
That's happened to Boris. He winked and there's no one eye. He woke it up and tired and shot him in the face.
You don't wink at people.
Yeah.
Boris don't want to wink at people. He just got that, twitch.
Oh.
So we here at hour 43 minutes of the Fantasm Maker putting on the Walking Ted makeup at the Fantasm Orlando at Shingle Creek. The Boris can't do Scottish accent, it's bad. But tomorrow, Sunday, more Fantasm. And what are you doing tomorrow, Mr. Fantasm Maker?
Oh, tomorrow. I don't know if we have anything specific other than just have more fun.
You've not done the panel, nothing?
We're on a makeup panel. I know that. I don't remember what time it is. Check.
Check
FantasmOrlando.net.
That's it, .net. Tonight, you're going to see Mr. Fantasm Maker, probably Walking Ted, definitely Boris, and Phantasm Zone, Tony Greco, at 8 o'clock in the Boom Boom Room, Patrol 2, the Nilbog incident. A 2-hour journey into Troll 2,
Is that okay?
the best worst movie. And at 7 o'clock, Boris hosts the Shakri Cinema Awards. Now, why the hell they let Boris host that? They're desperate, maybe. People made that.
All right,
Came
Walking
before.
Ted. I think you can open your eyes, look around, see nothing.
Yeah.
You see that?
I
Listen,
can see light and dark patches.
Yes.
listen, the last time somebody said you don't see anything, Tommy was born. And
Yes.
then Walking Ted got to play pinball.
No, that's the thing about this. Suffering for his art. This is a 100% block.
So it's like a
contact lens.
cataract in the box.
Yes. So this one, he has poor vision because he's not wearing his glasses. So this is his good eye, and he still can't see. So he's going and
So
see.
why don't we give him a nice cat that I did not?
Don't quickly, approach him from the side.
Especially not the right
Yes.
side.
Come up, scream at the walking dead. Ah! From the left side.
Yes. Now the good news is we're almost to the fun part, which is the painting.
They're painting.
Now, because we are in, and I have to note this, the people of Shingle Creek have been very cool to us at the Rose Inn of Shingle Creek because they're allowing us to use an airbrush and the facilities. But the drawback is we can't use the same airbrushes that we would normally use that would deliver a metric butt ton of paint in one time. So this is going to take a little bit longer. But
Okay, so
if you
Boris
bear
got
with
to
us,
ask something, though. The board's got his question.
yes.
What's the deal with airbrush? Why can't you not use airbrush?
Well, you can use airbrush, but it does throw some particulates into the air. So they don't like that.
They might get overspray.
Yeah, but you got a 10-year-old make a fart. That's the particulate in the air.
Yes,
Somebody trusts the fart, you're going to definitely have particulates in the air.
yes. And we also cannot use certain things that we might use, like splatter techniques or blood.
Well, that's because you got the nice ballroom here, and you know when they have it up.
They shy against having, blood all over.
And Boris got to say, this is a huge ballroom, okay? Huge. Like, how many people you think, you need for your wedding to fill this thing up?
Oh wow! I mean, thousands.
It's like residential ballroom. And there's like rooms behind us too. Oh, low battery.
Low battery? Okay.
Got the low battery.
Well, we are going to fix that in 1 second. If
Do
you
we go
can
low
move
power or
this-
close? Boris gonna hit the low power. Whoop. Boris, come on. Press the maker. Oh, Boris was doing the jiggle in the camera. What?
Take off the
Then what is drop character? You can't do it. Can you tell Spider-Man take the mask off? You can tell Batman take the cowl off.
Well, Spider-Man does it.
Spider-Man, pooey on the Spider-Man, okay? First of all, Spider-Man doesn't have $500 million suit.
That's the wrong thing.
Ah. Because Iron Man felt sorry for her like a daddy figure. It's Peter Parker eating peanut butter, making this suit out the long underwear. That's the way it should be. Run this Iron Spider crap. What is going to take the fact that Tom Holland's British?
Right on.
Okay. Now we're going to stick this in here. And then it should jump up. So bear with us. A little wiggling while we get an external power supply in here. Okay, bear with us just one moment. I'm getting this power set up here. Okay, you should be all set now. We're going to keep on working. So, as I said, we're in the airbrushing. We're going to go through this process. We're getting a fairly wide spray on this, still keeping it as narrow as we can. So we're going to just start by modeling paint. 1, 2, 3.
Too fat, you got to sit down.
You think you missed that? Oh,
What?
he's blowing in my ear.
That happened with Boris too.
The biggest thing is that we have quite a color difference between the makeup and his skin. Now, his skin is very red. Now, green would be a natural canceller, which this has a lot of green in it.
Okay,
So
now let's.
it does knock down a lot of the red tone, but we're going for a very modern look, so we have to bounce back and forth between several colors to get that effect.
Let's get down brass tacks with the corpse look.
With the what?
With the look of a corpse.
Yes.
Yeah, I can hold that.
Okay, first you got the blow. And all the fluid, like technically when the person died, all the fluid, gravity make the fluid poop.
Oh,
except in zombies, which is really weird unless they lay down. Then they got the black and blue backs. But you know, more to see gray, but like not real gray, like Battleship gray, like Tom Savini Battleship gray. The voters don't know if the zombies attacking or if the Battleship Massachusetts coming into town.
Disclaimer.
Oh, come on. Even you, Professor Maker, book club with this club, Professor Maker sit there and we watch The Dawn of the Dead. He goes, that plot's too right. Watch a movie with Professor Maker and you get the running commentary on what everybody do wrong. So, and the Hoozles. He looked like a witch when he put his face down. Anyway, with the corpse, what do you want to do for like a man that's, Walking Dead really tan.
Yeah.
Okay, and everybody know like the pallor of death, comes soon. But, like, say you a zombie in like Florida.
Yeah.
Tan. How do you make somebody like tan and farmer tan like look dead?
You got to take away a lot of the color, because then basically you just have the brown of the melanin in the skin. Not melatonin, melanin. For those that are trying to remember.
Now, do you got to make the skin look like more leather because the water like leach out?
Yes.
And that's another thing too. Like Borders will ask. Depending on the geography of the zombie, do you do different techniques for different? Like in Florida, it's humid, so he's got to be a little bit more juicy bloated, right? Because of the water.
Yeah.
Then you got like in Arizona, it's dry as hell.
The dry desert.
Like Texas, you make a little leather, like or Mexico.
Or what about in the frigid, like the frigid environment?
It's like blue.
The skin would actually, the water in the skin would freeze, which would expand, which would actually destroy the skin.
Would that make it like a pop?
Yeah, it would make it all the sound of cellular level. They would all break.
Because that's another thing. Like when people run zombies, like where you gonna go? Go to Greenland because no zombie gonna survive in the cold. Okay, what you hear? The coolest thing Borders has seen so far is the Michael Myers walking through his own theme music. That is the coolest thing Borders has seen in this convention so far, other than the girl making her own chunky outfit. Is the Michael Myers walking around with the tape recorder in his pocket with his own theme music. He's kind of power walking for Michael Myers, but still, that's awesome.
Did we get the hair schmuckers here? Yeah.
Okay. So like, say you're gonna like you move to Minnesota and you're gonna do not vampire, the zombie. Would that be like more blue and black?
Probably a
Like
lot
blue?
more rock. Yeah. I'm gonna be around your eyes. Keep your eyes closed. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, so what would you do for like whoops? I can't breathe.
I know.
Do we get a medical attention? I got small lungs. Oh, little. It's white.
Really?
They took it. We did ACL yesterday, and I was dumb. They took it and they went. So I literally can't believe it. I'll put it on. So like, you got New York, New Jersey, which is kind of like temperate.
Especially certain times of the year.
So say fall. What would you do for fall?
For fall?
Because it's like cool, but it's not freezing like winter's movie.
It would just delay the decaying process for sure. But it's like the drier the climate, the more it's going to turn like jerky as opposed to like people soup,
Yep. Okay, that's another question. Everybody know what putrefaction, like putrefaction. You got the flies and the botflies and everything, like parasites.
Right.
Now, why don't you see zombies with the only time you see zombie with the maggots and stuff is a Fulci movie. Remember Zombie?
Oh,
like
like
XOMBI
Yeah, Felucci's
thing. Like, why the heck nobody make zombies with the gunk come out of them?
It's really hard to train the maggots.
I mean, you got CGI. people walk by, talk to themselves. One guy just talked to his camera, like Bob Ross. I mean, that's another thing. Come on down, bring your camera, talk to yourself. This is great.
Yeah, that's
Because
the
Boris
stage
talk to
of
the phone.
social media.
That's fine. It's just your Boris talking. All of a sudden, you come check out. Like, what the hell?
3, 2, 1.
And that's another thing. Did you ever see crows and like the vultures, right? They're going to pick out your eyes and your nose because they eat your face first. Everything always eat the face first. You got cats eat your face, dog eat the face, birds eat the face.
Trying
So,
to do it a little bit in it's not like freezing in your ear holes.
so that's my. Watch how you're going to pull your thing on.
Back over to the side now. 3, 2, 1.
So how long you got before like the nose come off?
This, well, the way I put it on and everything, the real Walking Dead, when we did the haunt, he would actually sleep in his makeup.
No, like if you do it like as a zombie,
Oh, how
like
long?
if you're gonna do like makeup,
Oh, you're talking like for real?
for real, like if you're gonna like update, like in The Walking Dead, they update the zombies because the like time lapse and stuff.
I would say it would probably like rot off, especially like if you hit it on something, it could be within days.
Or did like the creatures eat it off, like the birds eat the face and
I'm
stuff.
sure of that. Or if the zombies have to lay down or something like that.
Well, that's another thing. Like a zombie trip and fall.
Yeah.
Did they possess the power to get back up? Like muscle memory to get back up? They just lay there like a log, like Hobo Baby, where she won Oreos at night.
Yeah. Here we go. Try to go very quickly for this because the actors always have to hold their breath when you're doing this. You don't want them to inhale it. Okay, go ahead and breathe.
Yeah. Actually, tell you hold your breath. 'Cause that's when
If I need to.
the secret. No, the secret is when Spencer makes tell you hold your breath. He's not spraying in your face. He's farting. That's what this Spencer make have lactose intolerance, and he go burp, and that's when the okay, hold your breath. Then it dissipates. So that don't do that. But just don't.
Laughing zombie. Yeah.
So minute 57, we got two people watching.
A minute?
No, we are at 57. Listen, mush mouth because of the mask, okay? But we had 57 minutes,
Oh, okay.
and we went from grandfather 3, husband of 1, because he did that multiple stuff unless we don't know about it. He's not like the Sister Wife show. Anyway, and now we
you
look
remember
like
this pose, putting your hands up, and
the
you're
hell?
gonna go right over the ring as usual.
Like what you do to John Cena, you can't see me.
Is that there? Okay.
What color you put on this face? Is it gray?
Yeah, this is like a deadite gray. You know, just to take. It's got a lot of green in it too, as a canceling. You don't really see it, but there is green in here, so it cancels out some of the red. But we're also going to come back here with a lot of, greens and browns and stuff like that. You will see a huge transformation. It's obviously not exactly what we would do if we had a place that we didn't have to worry about getting it on the floor.
So what do you use like purple?
Probably won't use purple on him.
But do you use purple?
You could, the purple works really good if you've got someone that maybe is zombie, because when you die, your blood stops. So it pulls to the areas of your body that are down.
Yeah, like if you lay down, it's along the back,
Right.
the butt cheeks, or
And that's kind of one of those things that you very rarely see in zombie films, is that where the blood pools, it would actually really break down the skin faster because there's moisture and bacteria and all sorts of stuff like that.
and you got the lymph. Lymph is very damaging tissue.
Yeah.
Well, they built the Frankenstein in the background. this is Zombie Ted telling Fantasm Maker, do that again, you get 5 across the face. Yeah, the back end, the black.
Maybe the back end. But yeah, he's
Yeah.
he didn't say anything about that. Okay.
Is
I
it
think
joke?
it was at 3 though. Okay. Is that what it? I think so.
No, it's like this is the joke. What the 5 fingers say to the face? Black. You don't get nobody to watch Chappelle show. Okay. Boris on his own here.
It is on. Holy crap! Where's that paper? Because I've been referring to it all weekend.
I think
It's on the back of that.
Boris thing Hamburger.
What's the black and white paper? Yeah, oh, it's there. That was one of the first things I asked Alan this morning.
So Boris got a pet peeve with the zombies too, because you know, like when all the juice come out of you, right? You do all the juice. The fluids doesn't pool and leave. The muscle and tendons get dry.
Right.
And you got the zombies walking around, and they try to punch through the door,
Snapping.
and the tendons should be snapping. I mean, it take what about 6 weeks to rot,
Yep.
and even if you got like formaldehyde, it takes 6 months.
Yeah.
6 months to a year. Like then you got the zombies for 10 years. Throw them around. At the Walking Dead, it's like they should be gone.
Now, one thing that really helps your makeup, I'll throw this in there, is it looks like I'm doing a lot of shaking, and I am. When you do the zombie flesh, it's good to do a modeled appearance. Even if the skin is showing from underneath. If you wiggle it as you go, kind of like 4-leaf clover or just a random pattern, it makes it look like that modeling that you would get with dead flesh. Far more realistic than just painting it on at like one tone.
Okay, so like like just let's not put the gray paint on with a roller, like somebody did in the movie, huh?
On what?
Paint with a gray paint on it with a roller, like somebody did back in the 70s.
I say nothing.
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer.
But it doesn't say the bad movie.
No, and it was also a different time because you had a situation where that was on low definition, no real quality as far as the amount that you would see on celluloid.
Wait, check this out. The guy got his own theme music. That's so freaking cool. There's a gender bent down like
Okay, I could palm forward. I'm just gonna take a little bit of that red out. He's a very man with nice red skin. Pink. Yeah. So we're just gonna take some of that out.
So do you have to do the head, the palm?
It depends. Do you want your zombie to shake hands with someone that looks like he's completely healthy on the other side?
So what do you want to eat? Hot dog or something?
This will stay on through hot dog.
Oh yeah. No, but then you can drink, you even like alcohol hot dog.
No, it stays on pretty darn good.
Might not stay on through vodka shots, but
No, it will come off with vodka shots. With little known fact, if you're doing
Well, you
like
got no
food
lips.
safe-
The lips gonna come off with the vodka shot.
Yep. Food safe paints that you would have to use to make cakes and stuff like that. That you often use vodka as a delivery agent.
So like it's good vodka, like Tito's or Absolute or something, or you get like the stuff at Holly's.
Yeah, and every once in a while, every artist will sip from their brush water. Sometimes.
As long as it's not brown, right?
Yeah. But, work gets progressively worse as you go on drinking your paint water when you paint with vodka.
Okay. So we've passed an hour. Yay, hour 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And now we've got the face on.
And I would say that if we're going by rule of thumb, we're probably about a half an hour total completion.
What did you go about rule like Big Toe?
We just have to do layering, which again, if we were able to do spattering and stuff like that, it would definitely give us a little more of organic light. But we do have to be careful in the hall to do that.
Okay.
The batter outside.
Yeah, we
In
may
the bushes.
cheat. We'll see.
He said he looked good. I think that's the guy that was screaming the back thing.
Yeah.
That's why that guy is my new friend. If he's the one screaming louder, because that dude's gonna bust the vocal cord. He's so loud. I mean, I've seen people come out and crap themselves.
Show me where it is. I know. I'm such a pain.
We now take a pause from our normal shows with station identification.
This isn't complete.
You're watching Awesome Man TV. First to make put makeup on. Later, you're gonna see First to make talking celebrities. Maybe Waters talking celebrities. Maybe Waters getting arrested for talking celebrities. We got Grand Shingle Creek, Florida. Shingle Creek, Orlando.
There's a kids one.
Fantastic. First, second, third October. Today's October 2nd.
You should be.
Still got a lot of time to get down Shingle Creek and see a lot of these nice people.
No, I'm talking about the kids.
You got a lot of good things to see. Buy a link if you're going to sign stuff. You got the cast of Halloween 3, season of the witch, Tom Atkins, and the lady was with him. Boris is stupid, you forget the name, but you can go happy Halloween and have them go, yes, we heard it 50 times already. But there's somebody selling the masks.
What masks?
The Happy Halloween, the Shamrock, Silver Shamrock mask.
Oh, yes. Oh, Scott, before you empty.
You got PJ Souls from Stripes, Halloween, Devil's Rejects, and the best movie of the modern age, Rock and Roll High School. She's like the modern age John Agar. Go ahead.
The whole process is also on Monster Manor TV. So if you wanted to see the whole thing from beginning to end, we're about an hour in now.
We turned the Grandfather 3 into a heaping, moving thing. Monster Man 1313 on the YouTube. Yep. The hardest part was poke out the eye.
Yeah.
You had to really take out the eye. So the three of us sit there with a screwdriver for about 45 minutes.
Did you hear about
Keep the
it?
glass on. What?
Melon.
No, melon ball had come out. We got to puncture the vitreous humor so it would clear, cloud.
Sorry?
Is that a contact lens?
Yes.
You
Yeah.
sell them?
We do not sell them here. Those usually you have to go to an eye doctor to have them prescribe it for you.
Oh, okay.
But they have it available elsewhere. I'd rather you go safe, basically.
With the lenses, if they're not fit properly, you get a corneal abrasion and it can eat a hole in your eye.
Yeah, I use contact lenses, so I have
Yep.
a prescription, but I don't know if you guys.
And
If you have a prescription that's current, you can buy them online as well.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, they want to see a current contact lens prescription, and then you can get any cosmetic lens you want.
Oh,
And if you have the full square one, you can even double them up.
you're welcome.
Put
Yeah.
on your prescription and your full square.
Okay, now we're going to be going with
Okay,
the
now we're
light.
back.
The
From
light.
outer space. Just
Uh,
looking on the place.
What I do is I put my green in here, and because I want it to blend, I cover this, and back pressure will cause the paint to mix basically in the bowl again. So I get somewhere between the darkest green and the light color. And then we can go back and start doing the modeling again. But this time it's a little bit darker green.
It's not easy being green. The zombie color of the leaves and trees, but that's good because like camouflage. You jump out and you get me because zombies move slow. You hear that
I'm
stupid
not sure if you
man
can
with
see
the
this in the lighting, but all of this modeling, that's what we're going for. It breaks up the solidity of the makeup. And also where it's red, it cancels out a lot of the pink that you would see just by using a little bit of the green.
That's
See
right.
how that cancels that out? And then we go a little bit closer, still under high pressure, and we do the veining
Okay.
and the modeling. and it makes it look very natural and very real.
The modeling again with the modeling. And somebody please tell Zack Snyder the monsters do not move fast. They move slow. And 28 days later was not zombies, it was infected. It's different. You know, if people got the hyper rage virus, it doesn't make you a zombie, make you hate.
Here again, big surprise, but I'll try to go quickly.
What?
You never want to get too close to the eardrum with this, as I'm sure these test to.
To blow it
because
out.
You can actually blow an eardrum really easy.
Then you won't get out of the car and go, what? For 2 days.
Just the needle, make it a little bit more flying. Okay.
So,
If there are any questions, let us know, and we will be here tomorrow as well.
how can you tell by the questions? Because Boris don't see nothing.
It should come up
We on YouTube? Yeah, then the problem nothing else.
Yeah, there should be comments should show up here somewhere.
Boris don't see nothing.
We'll have to monitor it on another camera, perhaps. Another social media.
We got 3 people on. Hello, 3 people watching at an hour 10 minutes. 2 people up. Somebody left. There's like a few Boris. But you got 3 likes.
And like I said, we're getting very close to the skin as we're airbrushing this variegation, if you will.
And the best part is we're going to put Walking Dead in the car and send them to a drive-thru at Starbucks in about 20 minutes. And watch the person try to give them Frappuccino pumpkin spice with the extra brains and see what happens.
This is what you would also call a hero zombie, because not because he's going to wear a cape or anything like that, but because he is going to get a lot of visibility.
Because on the camera.
So,
Like, you see him on the camera more than like maybe a guy getting eaten by a tiger, right?
yep. And since we're in person at this show, he's going to be right where a lot of people are. So we got to make sure that this is visually, it's going to look good on camera when people take pictures of it.
So when you roll them in the garbage, so he smell like zombies.
Yeah. Well, the real trick to that is putting a fish in his pocket.
Just for the halibut?
Just for the half.
For them say, thank you, Boris, to be all have the meal, yes.
Okay, keep your eyes closed.
Now, first of all, you're gonna with the veins, you're gonna try to outline the veins, model any veins, facial veins, because it's like the sucking when you get with the shrinkage.
Yeah.
And it's like a little bit of like capillary stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, you could go as detailed as you wanted on this. You could spend all day.
But then you sit in and
Yeah,
miss
then
out on stuff.
We forget that this is a short show.
Yeah, these are like hours. We've already passed into Rankin Bass's Hobbit time. We got another 45 minutes before we do the Rankin Bass Return to the King, and there was no there was the Fellowship of the Ring. That was Bakshi.
Yeah, Bakshi.
That was not Bakshi, and Boris loved the fact that Aragorn went no pants. It was like the man diaper. You see that one, the Aragorn?
Oh, God.
Was by John Hurt, and he got the little skirt on. And he bent over, fight the ring race, and his butt come out.
Shoot, man, I'm still wondering what the heck with, what was it on Match Game? The Hobbit was on the Match Game.
Oh, the voice
The
of the Hobbit,
original.
that freak brought us out, because it's like, you're not Frodo. You're not like Bilbo Baggins. You're some actor sitting next to Brett Summers, oogling her jumbling. And then making off-color comments. Like, what Bilbo bad comments. And then you got Charles Nelson Riley on the other side. Bilbo, ho! Oh, they first make an airbrush.
Yeah, my airbrush decided to shift. So my needle was not, or my airflow was stopping.
So that's the excuse you're going to use.
Yes.
That's your
what
story. You're
happens
sticking
when you
with it.
don't clean your gun after firing.
That's when they, don't go full automatic because get dirty.
Yes. And we're opening this up. Like I said, we've had to open it up to get this done in a respectable time, not being able to use the jam gun.
Listen, Boris told you to use the rattle can, but you don't want to.
Yeah. Now, Ted would probably say, okay, but it's never good to use and have the paint directly on the skin.
You put Vaseline on them, you'll be fine.
Well,
You
it
put
needs
the
a
watermelon
little
on them.
grease agent, right?
Or you put the watermelon, like you said, with the mask, and then you just spray paint the watermelon.
Okay.
Did you filter
Yes.
Oh, look, that's not to do the hands, the fancy hands, like match the manicures from the old Palmolive commercial. You're soaking
you're
in it.
soaking in it.
It's like, what the hell, lady? Why you put my hand dish soap? That's what Boris never understood the commercials of the 70s. Like, remember Mrs. Olsen? She show up, tell you got crappy coffee. Like, Mrs. Olsen, Billy doesn't like my coffee anymore. You're gonna divorce me. And Miss Olsen look at, well, bitch, you make bad coffee. She's like, well, no, I'm telling you this because I need help. And she's like, listen, make the Folgers. And then she make the Folgers, and the husband's like, this is crap. This is not gourmet. The Folgers don't make like, hazelnut cream or hazelnut cinnamon, French vanilla. And remember that? What was the one? International House, the bougie coffee. You got the little tin. It was like the epitome of like being classy. When you got International Foods coffee, Toll House coffee crap.
Oh, time to reload.
Expensive to
No
make.
more bullets.
No more bullets. But remember that one? That's like the lady Jean-Luc. It's like, no, you've never been to France. You know that. Well, just the way you got the Paris, Texas.
Yeah. Okay, this is the second of like 3 or 4 colors that we're doing.
Okay, so like you got like moldy colors and then marble colors. What else you gonna put on?
Go back to a brown, but a fairly cool brown because we don't want to offset this with more red. That would be one of the worst things that we could do.
So brown's like the coagulated blood.
Right, like a very deep dark red. Now, we're going to pour out most of this green that's left in the cup because we don't need it. So that's going to get poured into the bottle because this stuff is more expensive than gold.
What, the paint?
Yeah. And we're going to go on to our next color, which is more of a yellow than a brown. So when the darker pigments mix in, it's more of a burnt sienna rather than a raw sienna.
Okay, so I've always got the question about finishing. Like everybody want to have bloody zombie, right?
Yes.
But we all know that the blood doesn't coagulate like jam when you die.
Right.
And then you get the blood on you, and that blood's usually like drippy, and then that's going to be sticky.
Correct.
Like a 5-year-old. When you get the mommy, I love you, why you sticky?
Yeah.
And it's always, they smell like mayonnaise, but they're sticky. Mayonnaise is not sticky. So, if like say Ted, the zombie Ted, go on feeding frenzy, and he gets some lacerations or something on the face because somebody fight back, and then mix that blood with the zombie blood. You got 2 consistencies. How would you treat that?
With the 2 different types of blood, you would have to have the darker for the dead zombie blood, and then you could go with a little bit of a more authentic looking red blood for the new kill, for the new like the arterial spread.
And since he's older now, like say you do this for movie, and he's like older zombie because you make them all shrinking and stuff like that, right? Would you mess up the fingertips because like then the nails and the good stuff bend when you try to scratch away into a house?
Oh yeah, we would do that anyway.
I think that with the zombie makeup, it'd be safe to say that if you do older zombie, pretty much you see the bones and all the tips of the fingers.
Yeah, I mean, you could use, like, depending on how much visibility you were going to have on this, you could do, like we were talking about before, the lividity, the little bit purpler look. We could do that on the tips of the fingers and in certain areas. It just depends, again, it's always a time thing. How much time you have because, I mean, literally, you could spend 5 hours working on the makeup, but then it's time to go home, you know?
Hey, it's Dean Winchester's alter ego.
There you go.
And he got the pickaxe. On board has got this Gene Rayburn's microphone from Magic Game. But Gene Rayburn's microphone summoned him. Really pissed off Charles Dutton Army. I get you. Richard Dawson, big one.
Mind if I got the three of you guys? Mind if I got the three of you?
And here we go around your eyes again with your eyes closed.
3, 2, 1. You guys have first spray.
That looks cool though. Did you see we got the classic movie monster? The Leatherhead, Mind the Dan, and Michael Myers from Saturday Night Live.
From what?
Saturday Night Live, Michael Myers. He does all baby things. Behave. Somebody got the swag back. Oh, that's. Oh, Boris was going to ask about that before. Why eye hole so big on the appliance?
Because we're actually trying to accentuate the
sunken.
Yeah, this area here around the eye, that needs to look more projected. So the more we put in here, the less we're going to have that effect.
That beeping you hear is the patron dressed like the Red October. He comes to the road convention. He's doing so bad. Finds his way around. What?
I thought it was.
No, the Ghostbusters have the dancing toaster. Could be the start of like a surgeon from Weird Al. Then you know that specimen. You know when you watch the video of this thing, and you will. Around this time, and like when you're moving, Boris just noticed like Frankenstein in the back acting like a really big time creep in the Walking Dead. He's just kind of like standing over him, gawking at him.
Yeah, he's
kind of like, get out of my freaking face.
Yeah, he's not acting very nice. He's
well, maybe you got to go to the bathroom when you're blocking.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's like Frankenstein got to take a pee, and for the last hour you're blocking them. Now his back keeps swimming. Or it's leaking through the stitches. You don't know how well it's put on, man.
Yeah, this is not your makeup for the faint of heart. This does take a while.
So, like in the haunted house, how long would you give yourself to do this?
Oh, this we were down to what, 45 minutes?
About an hour.
Yeah.
And would you be this detailed, or would you like cut the corner?
No. The big thing that would save us a lot of time in the haunt is you could really open up with a jam gun. And we can't do that here.
Okay, so it's just more volume.
Yeah. Yeah, but literally that's something that can fill a whole room with dust. So we wouldn't want to do that anyway.
Yeah, but then meanwhile, little stinky haunted house made the poo-poo at the back. You know, the what was that? No, that, you know, no disrespect to haunted house, but that strong fog come out and bleh.
Yeah.
Smell like Ronald McDonald fond in the bag. Don't even know what the heck that was. But Boris going to find out and leave that in people's mailboxes he hates.
We are getting closer to being done with this demo.
And you know, this is funny. Boris got the microphone don't work. You got the broken microphone? Yeah. And then he pretend to talk. People come by and stand at Boris, thinking he do interview with you because of the phone. And the creepy Frankenstein monster behind him. But Frankenstein looked like he ready to throw down.
It's all the fumes.
It's all the fumes. Frankenstein ready to look like he's going to punch somebody. But that technically is named not Frankenstein monster. It's Adam in some books.
And Adam's going to strangle me.
Or the creature. But then we got to kill the creature, so we can't call it the creature. If there's somebody going to is that the creature with them find the brother with him? We don't know.
Okay. We've added a little bit of black to this, so we're back to eyes. 3, 2, 1.
What are you going to do about the teeth?
Those we have to basically hand paint.
Like what? Like the paintbrush?
Yep.
Okay, now is Ted going to stay a matte color, or are you going to make him a little shiny?
We're gonna leave him fairly dry looking. The only things that are really gonna be obviously wet are like the areas that would be gross and decaying.
Well, they say in what's the trauma surgery, like when you die, the lips come off really easy. They blacken them like shrimp, like what the heck is that? Like bacon,
Yeah.
because they just flaps this like moist skin that grow back and turn crispy black if you were the car. And the eyes sink in, and the gross thing is that all the fluid in the head, like sinus fluid, come out the nose and like leave you with glazed face.
And this was way before its time, because you remember Frankenstein from the old 1931. This
Yes.
was something that Jack Pierce did on Frankenstein because he realized that the monster
Random
would be
capillary
dead,
leaf
so it would have that dark fingernails. So a lot of times, like on
Yeah,
monsters, they
but-
painted it black.
Jack Pierce doesn't take the license because the monster didn't have no flat top.
Yeah.
He supposedly had the big head, but there wasn't no flat basketball court up there.
His logic was, and I disagree with it, but his logic was that the doctor wouldn't have a lot of sophistication, so he would cut the top of the skull and just pull the skin back like, an awning.
The
It
guy
wouldn't be
made another person out of other pieces, and he's not sophisticated.
Yeah.
You know how hard it is to sew up a nervous system? Because technically, if you look at the body, it's nothing but the nervous system right in the exoskeleton.
Yes.
You got the eyeballs, the nerves going in the ears, and then the brain, spinal cord, and that's it. That's you, technically.
Yep.
And then the rest of the stuff is just mobility and maintenance to get food in, and environmental controls. So technically, you're like the meat suit.
Yeah.
And to put together a meat suit out of 9 incompatible parts, because they didn't have like type cross match back then. With that Mary Shelley gave a lot of you got to spend a lot of belief with the whole. I'm going to sew this guy together out of like type B and type A parts. The box
Been
of
a
paint.
marathon.
But show everybody the box of paint.
But we have to create the color that we want for our. We gotta create it ourselves.
Oh, we got the Bob Ross moment. Cerulean blue. Cadmium white.
With a happy little moon.
Yes. Precisely. But the thing is that a lot of that's going to be covered up probably with human blood. So we are going to first just mince out the teeth.
And thank you to Sammy's Blood Bank for the human blood we're going to get here in Rosa Shingle Creek. Sammy's Blood Bank is a nice mobile bus to go around, take the blood. We don't know what it does with the blood, other than give it to like makeup artists and a couple vampires, maybe hemophiliac. But they give you a nice gift card to TGI Friday. That stuff exists, or you get screwed over.
Where did you get all that blood and why is it in a bucket?
Because you know what, sometimes you need bucket blood, okay?
Yes.
Don't question the bucket blood.
Yeah. Theme music.
All right, so we need about, an hour and a half. We got from Grandfather 3 to, holy crap, it's coming to the back door, shoot in the face.
Coming.
But the fun part is it looked like poor Walking Ted was into getting a spa day with his hair up, and he got bit by the barber. And that's what happened.
This is one of those things, though, where it's a full transformation, and we're even going to put stuff in the hair to make it look gross and greasy and yuck,
That's what I should just peanut oil.
Yeah. Peanut butter in your hair. It'll make the giraffe lick it.
You know, there's a part in the book. You ever read World War Z?
No, I stay away from
The book with Max Brooks.
non-fiction.
Max Brooks has the best part. They do the Battle of Yonkers with zombies from New York.
Yeah.
Come up to the iconic state parkway. They're going to like upstate New York. And the military tries to stop me up. And in the book, one of the soldiers is saying, "Hey, you think the zombies are all these people in the Sunday best and the suits and stuff, and they're coming in pants?" It's like, nope, everybody half naked because they either die in the hospital with a gown on, or they go home and hide the zombie bite, and they die at home in the pajamas. So most of the zombies they were fighting were naked.
We're still on alcohol paints. I'm just using a more concentrated alcohol paint to outline some of the areas that would be fresher meat, dirty meat, from gnawing on people. But we're getting closer. This isn't like a fresh blood. This is kind of a darker blood. I'm also going to put some around the inside of the nostrils because we're figuring maybe it.
Drain out the skull.
Yeah. All around the upper lip.
What about the eye, the glassy eye?
Oh, we can. That's the thing is there's so much poetic license you take on this stuff, and you can play with it as you go. And honestly, if you had more time, you could just do whatever you wanted.
I mean, how much, the voters will know how much time you need because you're the hour and a half, right? This is like a sculpture. If you do something for if you're going to make a monster or you're just going to make
Sometimes
a sculpture.
you just have to call the pace and say, you know what, we're done. We got to get on. Because, like I said, if you're working so long that you're running out of time, and now he's not going to be able to walk around and enjoy it, that's bad. But yeah, and hit every Wendy's between here and Okamka. Open your mouth.
Boris going to grab the walking head and we're going to get in the Boris truck and go Turkey Lake. Go get some coffee in the way. How you doing, lady? Boris' friend wanted the quadruple burger, raw, and the Boris wanted the the frosty. And we can go to McDonald's. We need the McFlurry, ice cream machine down. Walking Ted, bite them. Either that or just pay in the drive-thru and then Walking Ted drive. See that poor lady drop the food on the floor. Are you gonna see the skin under the eyes? You're gonna paint under that? Just black the whole thing on my back.
Like in here?
Yeah. The get the eyeliner. And Boris thing what sell this is the fact that Walking Ted weighed like $1.05 and like 6'6". So, you get Boris a big fat ass. I mean, nobody wants to be a zombie with big fat because he's the back of the crowds usually. When the mall was it Dawn of the Dead, the mall? Everybody go in the mall. There's Boris still trying to power walk across the parking lot. Yeah. Hey, wait for me. So you're dead. You don't have no lung capacity. Shut up. Boris still can't walk.
Now, ordinarily, we would be able to, like I said, spatter him up. But because we are in a hotel environment, we
It's
don't
a
want
nice place.
yeah, we don't want to do that.
Boris, remember that the producer lady had a paintbrush. She slapped on it.
Yeah.
The black, and you get blood all over you, like a baby exploded.
Yeah. So we're faking a lot of this just to give it the impression that it's.
But it's
goofy
sometimes
and
less and
leaking.
more.
Sometimes less is more. And I mean, we may not be able to spatter blood all over it, but that just means, you know what, I need to maybe do a little bit better job on the details of the makeup so they look more authentic before we even do anything.
Okay. Now, say when you do a zombie, is it like like Michelangelo said, the marble tells the sculptor what to sculpt?
Well, I definitely. I mean, the thing with even Ted here is that his anatomy, since this was a custom piece that we were able to come up with, his anatomy established where certain things were, where we did certain tells. You know, like for example, the orbital structures around here, zygomatic origin process. We just extended his. So we just made what was there look more authentic, more real.
There's a lot of One thing noticed about the convention, Boris noticed is a lot of people putting like a camera. And this in the day, like Boris probably talked about this 8 times so far, but everybody is like a Star Trek captain talking into the camera. It's like the live in and single people. And Boris turned out and there's nobody there. They're like talking to nobody. Is it okay?
Yeah.
But no, they're fine. They're just talking to the fans.
For me, you know.
So Boris gonna buy a fake microphone and walk around and talk to nobody.
With that eye that I am looking at. Oh no, I can. I can see the.
So, all right, you do a lot of monster things. Right? You did the zombies. You do Creature from Black Lagoon. You do what you do the Christmas with the elf.
Yeah. Yeah.
You did a lot of what the thing you love doing, like you always do, and it doesn't bother you. Like you can do this forever.
You know, honestly, I think one of my favorite makeups that we did was like I said, the Bernie Wrightson Frankenstein we talked about before.
And that's where you turned Ted into the Frankenstein.
Yes. Number one, it was my father-in-law, and we're friends. We actually like each other. But for me to turn him into a character that I had such an affinity for, and by an artist that I love, that was kind of cool actually seeing him. And he's played several of those aha moments for me.
Well, he was the creature in the Gill
Man, yes, because he is fortunately a tall dude. You know, he's 6'5", 6'3", but
that border 6'2", okay, Nino's 6'3".
And that was
the border just got the shorter and got fatter.
Yep, and that was the same height as the gill, the walking creature, the land creature. So I mean, it's that was very poignant for me.
And if you look at that, we're gonna look to the bottom right of the screen, the green hand sticking out of the Frankenstein monster, and look at the hand of the walking Ted. If it looks similar, first the maker's going to tell you why.
Yes, because the hand model for both. He actually modeled the hands, and then we went back to the plate press and did the resculpting to look like the creature from Frankenstein.
And the best part, if Fantasm Maker ever want to make IV hands and arms for the hospitals, Walking Ted, he's a Venus anomaly. He got the ropes on his arms that even the dumbest nursing student could get the IV on. Boris is like, that man will go down, the EMS going to have a field day putting that big ass needle in his arm. Because he got baby ropes.
And what we're doing for you guys at home that can't see it close is we are actually painting in some wrinkles and lines.
Now, is that the contour wheel or a bruise wheel?
This is just a standard bruise wheel. Krylon number 1306.
Is that grease paint?
It's a grease paint, so it'll need to be set.
That way you powder.
Yep.
Now, do you have to powder the other stuff on the spray paint?
Not really, but sometimes if you're trying to prolong the life of it a little bit, what you can actually do is Aquanet. You know, they have setting sprays, but honestly, Aquanet works well enough for most applications.
Now, how you gonna, like, if you want to take this off, is that the same electric shade?
Electric shave? Yep.
It's was it the baby wipes and shaving cream?
Exactly.
And what was that other stuff you had? The little liquid. The one you bought us for exfoliating.
Oh, that was my cellular solution. That's very similar to. It's better for deeper cleaning. But the micellar stuff you can get like from Walmart's and Ulta and that sort of thing.
So why did the baby wipe work so good?
You know, if I knew, I would tell you. It works well.
Because Boris in Hunts, even the thickest makeup, you put the baby wipe with like a shea butter and whoop, come right off.
Yeah, exactly. And I tell you, probably the happiest person in this room right now is Ted, who has asked me several times over the pandemic, when are we going to put makeup on again?
You know what?
Zombie part.
Walking Ted, did you show up with like a gallon of coffee or pizza on the Friday night? Go, listen, do me. Do it. Let's do it. Because you know all we do now watch like what we do in the shadows and what if. And the last what if. Boris going to kick Disney in the patooties because the damn half episode is to be continued. Spoiler alert, will it be continued? Boris not going to tell you why. But Boris watching this to be continued is like crap. You don't do that in this day and age, especially internet. That's safe in the 70s and 80s when you got to wait like 2
Yes,
years.
right.
And in just a second, summer.
Okay, God the Thunder just walked by. That's new. Captain didn't walk by too. We're mixing the studios here. And we don't know what the heck Catwoman
So
does
they got
here.
Ghostbusters up there. They're crossing the stream.
No, that's the Monsters though. They got the Monsters with the Ghostbusters.
No, they're crossing the stream.
That's gross, and Boris not going to show that. What you do in the privacy of your own bathroom, that's what you do. But at least when the monster asked them if they were God this morning, they said yeah. So here we are, Rosen, Shingle Creek, Fantasm Day 2. Master Man, the Boot, Defense the Maker, Walking Dead, Pain Ass Boris.
Having way too much fun.
Putting the makeup on the Walking Dead. Now we take it off. We don't let them walk around. That's the crew. We're going to hold them down and scrape it off.
We ran out of time. We're going to have to just
Sorry, you
make
got to
this
come
work.
back tomorrow and scrape it off. Now
Yeah.
Defense the Maker
Oh,
good to
you're
show
there?
how to take everything off. With the baby wipe.
No, we just send him home and watch things fall where they may.
They only bought the Walking Dead a 5-hour pass. Now they take out the glamour clips.
Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
Maybe it's Maybelline. And here's a fun fact. Those clips are older than probably Boris. Look at that.
This is where the fun begins.
Apparently the Walking Dead uses Pantene. Conditions. It's nice. You look kind of like Frank Zappa. If Frank Zappa was decrepit.
Hopefully I won't pull your hair. Out of practice with this
Up and went black and then come back. Wait. And skip it. There we go.
Is it skipping?
It skipped, hopped, and jumped, and now we're back.
We're back?
Yes.
Okay, good.
So this is called Project Runaway, Spooky Edition. Or Face Off, season 46. Scott got 5 minutes before he got to put the brush down.
Yeah, right? I'm not saying that.
And then we're gonna go to another room for the last looks, and then he's gonna tell Boris why he did what he did in 2 days when Boris came to shit the week. That's what irked Boris, you know. Disclaimer whole thing, you know, but
Sorry, hold me there.
when Boris watched the show like Chopped,
Huh?
Got a separate for your art.
Well, I try not to make you suffer too much,
but
but
in the face-offs, right?
yeah.
And then Chopped and all those competitions where you gotta do something like 2-3 hours. Boris want to know, put your money where your mouth is. Don't complain about the work I do in 3 days. The Boris do 3 days when you get like 16 weeks to do for your movie. The fact that Patrick again, disclaimer, made that Godzilla monster thing. Is he going to tell people that they did crap? No way. Boris like Patrick Tatopoulos,
This is not the same stuff that Amber.
but that's
Well,
gross.
this has got to be, it's a hair fixative. It's a little bit drier. The other stuff is the cholesterol cream, I think you're talking about.
Actually,
That stays wetter longer.
fun fact, Spencer Baker just put mayonnaise in his hair. He's just mayo. Not even Miracle Whip, it's just mayonnaise. He got that of what's it, the little packet they found in the van coming here. So did Shingle Creek, Walking Dead get his head looked did. You know what mess with him? Give him a beehive. Make him die at the 60s.
And I got stuff still all over my hands. I will need to definitely wash my hands before I shake it in his hand. The boots. And then he
Watch-
shuffles.
don't watch
Where
the
are
TV.
you? Where are your?
Bottom right.
It might be in the. There's my cranberries on my phone. They might be in my bag.
You invite him, please. That's the bad joke. That's the photographer with the bad joke. Don't blame
Oh
him.
yeah.
The engineer boots. There you go.
Thank you.
Give me sex.
And I'm going to quickly sign off. We are ready to unveil him. And in the meantime, I'm going to go wash my hands real quick because I've got hairy palms. And I'll be right back.
Okay, so this is supposed to. We done? Are we done with this? Oh yeah, this is the last part of the zombie thing. Best to make it spend an hour 40-something minutes to put it, and then Ted's gonna get up and leave. Oh, okay. Now we got the happy games. This is Borders from Monster Manor. You done because Spencer Maker got called away. Don't need the photographer. You Borders ready to shut the camera off. Okay, that's nothing now you see. You see Frankenstein still looking pissed off. And Ted is on the way. So we're gonna end it here, folks. So that's it. Ta-da, that was it. Big payoff. Now he's behind us messing with people. So how the hell do we shut this off? Shut it off. We're gonna go now. See you later. But that's the button and the session.